Hi, welcome to the 23rd episode of the New England Gal Knits podcast. I am Janet and I live in Massachusetts with my husband, our two boys, our cat, and our dog. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram at the New England Gal. We also have a Ravelry group under the New England Gal Knits. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're a new viewer, welcome to the podcast. I hope you enjoy it. So it's been a while. I like to film every 2 weeks, and I think it's been close to 3, could be a little bit longer than that. I have to say, over the last few weeks, I have not gotten a whole lot accomplished. I haven't been motivated to knit, and on top of that, a week and a half ago, our thermostat went, which meant that the central air conditioning was not working, which meant that it was hot and muggy in the house, and the last thing I wanted to do was pick up yarn and have anything remotely wool related near me. I did, over the last few weeks, get a lot of sewing completed, so I'll go ahead and I'll share that as well. Hopefully you guys are just as interested in the sewing than the knitting, but I'll start with the knitting and show you what I have. So I did not get anything completed. I've come close. I'm thoroughly been lazy on this. So the first work in progress I'm going to show you is a pair of shorty socks, and here they are. So I'm using the Addie's US 1, and these are 2.5 millimeter needles. And they're 8-inch circular needles. Did toe up. I'm all done. I just have to bind them off and throw in the heel. Really 1 day's worth of work, so I should have these done shortly. So these are knit out of Darkwave in her Suncoast. Where did I throw the tag here? I think it's, yep, Suncoast colorway. And this was a 50 gram skein, so literally there's not a whole lot left on these. I am going to do a contrasting white heel, but it's perfect size skein for a pair of shorties, and I do love the color. So hopefully next time I podcast, I will have these done. Again, really no excuse at all, because I'm so close to having those complete. So that's my first work in progress. The second work in progress is a pair of striped socks, and I just put in on these the waist yarn, and these are being knit on my Chowgoo ones, which are 2.25 millimeters. And the colorway, these are Lunapurl in her Atomic, I have the tag somewhere. Here it is. Here's her tag, and this is her Atomic Mermaid colorway. So here is the first sock, and I do like knitting my socks concurrently, so here's the second one. I've gotten quite a bit done. I think like to have the match. I have 2.5 stripes left to go on this sock before I start the ribbing. So I'm making good progress on these as well. Here is the cake, and I do two cakes, and I love the colors on these, and these are bright and cheerful and perfect summertime socks to work on. So hopefully I will have these close to done next time I podcast. I have to admit, it's been a lot of socks because everything else is just too hot to knit. Or I had started last podcast, I showed crocheting a blanket for my niece, but again, the thought of having a blanket sprawled out across my lap with no central air conditioning and 90-degree weather in the humidity. My hair is in a ponytail and it's already starting. You can see the flyaways coming out. My hair is it's odd. It's when it naturally dries, it's curly underneath and straight on top, but with the humidity, it doesn't matter what I do, I can't get it straight to save my life. So I've thrown it up in a ponytail and pieces are already coming out and flying away. I'm a mess today. My next work in progress is the Wonderland socks. And this is a pattern by Tabby Gandhi of the Hey Sister Yarn Company and podcast, and I am knitting these out of the Stranded Dye Works in her Flamingo Legs colorway. I'm really loving the way these come out. Again, it's perfect summer color. I am knitting these out of the Addie's Flexi Flips in their US 0, and I can't read that without my glasses. I don't think I could read that with my glasses. I'll put the millimeters down below, but these are the US ones in the Addie's. And here is the ball. So I had caked this up, I didn't split it, so I am working on these one at a time. So here is the yarn, and I absolutely love this, and it's on her 75-25 base. It's beautiful. Like I said, I'm really enjoying this color for the summer, and I am getting used to the Flexi Flips. It's still slower than my 9-inch circular needles, but it's something different, and right now I'm looking for different, so I am enjoying them. And I have put in for the heel, so I'm shortly will be doing the pattern on both the front and the back. I'm just going an inch up before I start the pattern. That's my last sock whip. Then finally, my last work in progress is the Ateneo Sweater by Caitlin Hunter, and I don't even have this in a bag. I've been keeping it on my ottoman. I've got 2 balls of yarn here. So I am all done with the bottom half of the body. So I've got the lace done. I did 15 inches from the cast on, which is an inch longer than what she had called for. It's supposed to be a crop top, but I didn't want it too cropped. And I have separated for the armholes, so I am working on the back. And I'm supposed to knit this 5.5 inches, and I probably only have about 2 so far. So I'm kind of trying to pick this up every night while I'm watching TV and at least doing an inch. Like I said, I haven't been motivated to do a whole lot of knitting lately, and I think the heat and the humidity is starting to get to me. So I've been doing knitting on socks while I'm at work, and then when I'm home I'm trying to pick up my Tegna and finish it. I am going away to visit my brother in upstate New York Labor Day weekend on his farm, so I'm hoping to have the Tegna done by then. And you know what, I completely forgot to mention the yarn I'm using on it. So I am using yarn that I had dyed myself, and this is on a 25% mohair, 20% nylon, and 55% merino. I think that's what it is. I can't remember now, and I forgot to write it down. It's either 25% mohair or 20% mohair, and then 20% nylon or 25% nylon. I can't remember right now, but anyways, it's yarn I had dyed myself, and I do like the base a lot, and I can't wait to get it done. Like I said, I just need to start getting motivated with knitting. Even with all the works in progress I have, I'm really tempted to cast on another project just to try and bring that knitting mojo back, because I really haven't been feeling it lately. But hopefully as the fall rolls around, that'll change and I'll get back onto that. I do have one well, it was a couple skeins of yarn to show you that I did purchase, and it is for a specific project. I really have been loving the Tecumseh sweaters that I've been seeing, and I want to knit one for myself. So I picked up, during 4th of July, Madeline Tosh was having a huge sale. So I picked up some Madeline Tosh DK, her twist base, for the sweater. So the main color in the sweater is Good Silence, which is this beautiful cream color with a purple and black speckles. And then you can see, I think, some of them right in here. So I picked up 4 of these. I didn't bring them all over with me. Then for the cross section is Evil Eye in this beautiful green, and this one has some brown speckles through it. And then for the arrow portion, I picked up Barbara Deserves Better. And it's beautiful corally pink, and it has the purple speckles in it that are in the Good Silence. So here they are together. So this will be my Tecumseh. I've been very tempted to cast this on, maybe a color work project, something a little bit different that's going to make me think a little bit more, will get me back into knitting. But I love these together, so I can't wait to see how these knit up. And her yarn is so soft. I love it. That is all the knitting that I've purchased, and that's all I have to share with knitting. The rest is sewing, so if you're not interested in the sewing, thank you for stopping by, and if you are, stay where you are and let me grab the things I have been working on. I do have quite a bit of sewing projects to share with you. I have quite a bit finished and one work in progress that I've kind of made a mess on, and I'm slowly fixing that. So the first one I want to share with you is the shirt that I'm wearing. So I have finished, this is the Lark t-shirt by Grainline Studios. And this was sewn out of Art Gallery in one of their jersey fabrics. I love the way this came out. I love, number one, the fabric is nice. It is nice and thick. You can't see through it. It is the perfect fabric. And I love the pattern. It's nice and long. I cut off, believe it or not, about 2 inches off of the bottom of this. I have a very short torso. I'm 5'5", and I have very, very long legs and a very short, squat torso. But it is the perfect length. I like my shirts a little bit longer. Super comfortable, and I have already another shirt cut out to put together, and it is a navy and white stripe. I am quite proud that these stripes do go straight. I was very nervous when I was cutting the material that they were going to be crooked, but all is good. I did not line up perfectly the stripes, but I'm new to sewing. I used to do a lot of quilting, and garment sewing is completely new to me. And it's been a learning experience, and it's great because it has been a challenge, and I think that's why I've been leaning more towards sewing these past few weeks, because it is new and different, and it's really making me think, and I have been really enjoying it. And I did do a twin needle, which I had never used before, to do the hemming on the arms and on the hem of the body as well for the shirt, and I love the finish that it gives. It gives it a very professional finish, so really, really happy with this. And it took a day. I'm sure that more experienced sewers could get this done a lot faster, but I am very happy, and I love the way it came out, and I have a feeling there are going to be a lot of Lark t-shirts in my future. There's a boat neck 3/4 length version that I would love to make as well, either in a solid navy or a straight navy. Navy and white seem to be my go-to colors lately. I did finish another Lark t-shirt. So here it is, and this is out of a Dear Stella material, another jersey knit with little flamingos on it, and it is a v-neck, and I was too nervous to do the twin needles on this, so this was just finished with one needle. The v-neck is not perfect, it's a little bit crooked. I made a mess of the first v-neck and ended up having to cut out the neckline and redoing a whole nother one. But even though it's not perfect, I absolutely, again, love the way it comes out. And this material is super soft and stretchy and nice and thick. The one thing I hate about a lot of the store-bought t-shirts, very thin material, and most of the time you can see right through them. And these, you cannot see through, and I love them. And then, so 2 Lark t-shirts, and then I'll go to my two Ogden camis, because I've been obsessed with sewing these up as well. My first one that I have sewn, and I do have to make a slight adjustment to this, but here it is. This is the first one, and this is out of a Rifle Paper Chalets material. And again, I love the way it came out. The straps though are just an inch too long, so I have to adjust the straps and bring them in up another inch, because it just falls a little bit too low for me in the front. But it is comfortable and light and airy, and I love the way it falls. I did purchase a hemming foot, and I used the 4mm. I purchased 2, a 6mm and a 4mm one, and I used the 4mm on this. And again, I love the finish. It looks very professional. So I am pleased with that. And then the other Ogden cami that I sewed up is this one, and this was made out of a shirting material from Joann's. And again, just another Ogden cami. And then the last one I finished sewing project I have to share with you is another top. Here it is, and this is McCalls 7543, and I did view A on this, and I am very pleased with the way this came out. I have to admit, like any off-the-shoulder top, it's not the most comfortable. When you raise your arms, it slides up, so there's a lot of playing with it throughout the day. I work one day to work, and I think I'll stick with wearing this like when we go out to dinner and there's not a whole lot of movement that needs to be done. But I am pleased and very happy with the way this turned out. And then my one work in progress that I am trying to fix and play around on is this dress, and it's not going to, gonna quickly stand up and show it, won't fit all on screen here, but this is McCalls 7120, and it is view A. So I know everyone talks about the big 4 patterns, so Butterick, Simplicity, McCalls, and Vogue, putting in a lot of negative ease in their pattern. And I went and I looked at the finished sizes, and I did a medium, I think. Yep, I did the medium. I was in between the small and the medium. I felt like the small was going to be just a bit too snug. So I did the medium, and it was huge. So I ended up having to cut the seams out, take the seams in, take this up. This still is a little bit low, but it fits well where if I bend over, it does not fall over. So I'll be comfortable wearing it with the neckline. So I had to play with the neckline the seams. I took out, I had the pockets, but again, because my torso is so short, the pockets were like below my hips. And then I didn't feel like playing with the pockets. When I tried it on, I felt like the pockets were too flappy on the inside and I didn't like the way it felt. So I decided just to take the pockets out. So now my challenge is the facings for the arms, because I have the facings all interfaced for the medium, but I've taken an inch off here and I've taken this in. So I'm going to have to play around with the facings and figure that out. So that is my next project. And this is the material is a Robert Kaufman linen cotton blend, which is kind of nice to have the cotton in there because it doesn't wrinkle as badly as regular linen would. So once I have figured out the arms, I just have to hem it and then it's done. So hopefully this week I can try and figure out the facings for the arm and be done with it, because now that I know, I will lean towards the much smaller, because looking at the sizing I should have been a large. So I went down to the medium, and then the medium, even the finished sizing seemed a little bit too large. So now that I know, hopefully the next dress that I make, I can adjust accordingly. Like if a shirt's just a little bit too big, that's okay, but the dresses, you want them to fit nicely. In my next dress that I have planned, and I'll pop a picture in because I've ordered the dress, I've written down the thing. It's McCalls M674, and I just got the material in. I have so much stuff in front of me now. So I ordered this fabric from fabric.com. So if I haven't been getting my fabric from Joann's, I've been ordering quite a bit from fabric.com. The dress and the Rifle Paper Company was from them. And then actually the knit is from an Etsy store, AA Creations, and I'll again always link them down below. And they have the AA Creations super fast delivery. I was shocked with the knits. I ordered them on a Saturday. I had them by Monday. Amazing. So I've been ordering a lot from them as well. But this one came from fabric.com, and this is Telio, and I can't remember the print name, but I'll put it on the screen now. So it is a line dress that I'm going to make. So I have to pick up lining, which I'll just pick up from Joann's. If anybody, again, because I'm new at apparel and garment sewing, if anyone has any suggestions on a good lining material, if you could leave a comment below. And that is all I have to share with my sewing, which is quite a bit. At least, even though I haven't accomplished much in knitting, I've accomplished quite a bit in sewing. As for what's been going on, a few weeks ago we went out to Canton, Massachusetts to what's called Treetop Adventures, and it is basically a obstacle course in the sky. So there's different levels and different obstacles, and as you get higher up into the trees, the obstacles get a little bit more challenging. So the first set, you're 10 to 15 feet off the ground, which doesn't sound very high until you're actually 10 to 15 feet up off the ground. And you're strapped in at all times. You've got two hooks that were one was always locked in, and you locked that one before you could move the other one. So you're always strapped in, which was good. There was always that safety. And there were obstacles and zip lining, so the beginners was 10 to 15 feet off the ground. Then you went to 35 feet off the ground. Then I never got above the 35 feet off the ground. I'm petrified of heights. So it was great when I was done. As scared as I was doing it, I felt so accomplished afterwards. I felt great. And then my older son, Jacob, one of his friends that we took with us, as well as my husband, did ones that were 65 feet off the ground. And then there were 2 other courses higher that they label black and double black diamond courses. I have no idea how high they were. Jacob could have flown through all of them. He loved them. He was great. Nothing slowed him down. He was well ahead of us on all of the courses we did together. My youngest son stuck with the beginner courses, but they both love zip lining, so we're looking at maybe taking them zip lining in the fall. There's a place out in the Berkshires. I think that would be beautiful to zip line with all the foliage. So we'll look at doing that. That was a great time. Other than that, we've just been trying to stay cool. It has been hot and muggy and gross out, and we have not been doing a whole lot. I finally, though, did start doing yoga again this weekend. So I went to a beginner's class yesterday. I used to do yoga a lot prior to my back surgery 3 years ago, and since then I haven't done a whole lot of exercising, and I want to get back into that. I was never flexible to begin with. I was not graceful at all. However, I love yoga. I enjoy it. I find it peaceful. It's a challenge for me because I'm not graceful to try and keep my balance. So I did a beginner's class last week, and I did another class, a regular flow class, this morning, and I was actually quite proud of how much I could keep up. And I wasn't as flexible, but the instructor's amazing, and it was like, stay in this position, but if you want more of a challenge, try this position. So there were definitely modifications that were given, so that was great. And then there is a restorative class tonight that I'm going to go ahead and take as well, and basically it's cuddling a bolster pillow. It's on the ground with a bolster the whole entire time, and it's going to be just a lot of stretching. So I'm looking forward to that, and I have found a yoga place that just opened up right in town, less than 5 minutes away from the house, so there's no excuses. So I've been enjoying that. And that is it. Other than that, the heat wave hopefully will be over soon. It is still muggy. It's been rainy all weekend. I had wanted to try and make it to the beach, but that didn't happen. Saturday looks nice, so I am hoping that on next Saturday maybe we can get down there. We'll see what happens. Anyways, that is all I have to share. I hope you all have a great 2 weeks ahead, and I will talk to you later. Happy knitting. Bye.